Well, now we come to the place that I think Don may have saved some questions. If you want to put some questions in the Q&A, what we'd like to do is model for you some of a continuation of what Roland started with Lori, but let's model some kinds of communications and question and answer and pursuing. And I will see if I can find a link that I will post in the chat. But this, Richard did an outstanding interview that we recorded that he has been mentored and working with Marty from a role model from the book Questions Are the Answers. But most importantly is we've given everybody a package, an overview. And now what we want to do is say, okay, how would I talk to somebody? What do I do? And how do we model this? So Marty, let me turn this over to you, Master Coordinator Marty Frederick, and his magnificent colleague, and I'll say mentee because that's what you say, Richard Beers. So Marty and Richard.
All right. Richard.
I'm Marty. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit about why you have interest in Shaklee and maybe the products.
Well, I was introduced to the products a long time ago, and and I like them. I always liked the cleaning products. That's how I first got started when I was in college, and kind of backed into the food supplements thing, and my wife Kay got interested in it because it made a health benefit to her. We got some help from Barb Lagoni, and so it looks like Barbara's doing pretty well. Looks like you're doing pretty well. And I think Scott's doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure Carolyn's pretty well. I'm kind of interested in how you do well. So I'm curious about what.
So you've been using these products how long?
I was 19 when I bought my first bottle of Basic H. So that was a half century ago this year, as a matter of fact.
So am I hearing you that the products have benefited you and that they've helped improve your health? And
yes.
Do you want to share them with other people?
Well, I certainly want to understand how the income goes because it looks pretty lucrative. I mean, I've seen the charts and I understand roughly what's going on there, but certainly would like to figure out how you did it.
Well, when you say income, I mean, do you have a figure in mind that you're thinking about?
Well, I've been hearing recently about this thing called the 50K project. And I could see participating in that and looking to maximize that for me, knowing that it has a lot I have a lot to do with it. But certainly if I can do 50K a year very quickly, that would be a good thing for me to show that there's a proof of concept and that it works.
Well, if you were going to engage this, what do you think your next step would be?
Call Marty.
And what would you hope that I would do for you?
Well, I'm the kind of guy who listens to how people did what they did, and if it seems reasonable to me and it looks like it's something I could do, then I look to get a coach to figure out how to do that.
Okay. So am I hearing you that you're coachable?
Well, I'd like to say so, but it kind of depends on whether the coach thinks so. I believe I am open to learning. I'm sure that I don't have all of the right thinking, so to say. So I'm used to working in big companies and the chain of command mentality. And so I know this is a little bit different.
So it sounds to me like money's pretty high in your list and that. What would be your top priority?
Well, my top priority, mean like a number, or a top priority like
well, here's a card that has about 9 options on it, and it's extra income, financial freedom, how to own your business, more spare time, personal development, helping others, meeting new people, retirement, leave a legacy. What would be your top priority of those?
Well, I've seen that list and I've looked at it. I thought a lot about it. The one that seems to be the one that I settle with is leaving a significant legacy.
Really? Why did
Yeah.
you pick that one?
Well, I'm getting old. That's the first thing. And I would like to be able to leave a legacy of things as I get older. I want to certainly provide for if this business is sustainable, like I've seen it is with all of you, the master coordinators, then certainly it's something I would love to leave to my children, our children. Kay's worked very hard at developing a customer base over the last 30 years. But there's some things I'd like to do money wise, but certainly in the final analysis, I'd like to be able to have our children have the option to either take over this business or do something else with it, but leave them with something that says, wow, that's pretty cool.
So tell me clearly, why is that important to you?
Well, I believe it's important to, well, I guess it's, from my point of view, it's I want to be remembered as somebody who did something of value, that did something that helped and improved lives. I've been oriented that way. And I'd like to be good at it. And I know in this business, it's not the same as many other businesses, though you have to learn how to be appealing. And so I'd love to be able to not only leave a legacy for my children, but I think it is a very, very cool idea that I could help some other people build a significant income for themselves and teach that skill and show, or not teach that skill, but show people how they could do the same thing. I mean, when I look at where the lineage that all of you come from, it's pretty amazing.
So, okay. What are the consequences of not having that opportunity?
No, I'm getting to the point where, at the age where saying, what do I really want to accomplish in the final 4 decades? I'm going to be 110 like Dean Smith. So, if I don't do that, I will not be happy with myself. If regardless of the result, financial results, to be able to show that I could help people who are looking for an option to become self-sufficient financially and have them show other people how to do that, that concept of multiplication has always been intriguing to me.
Mm-hmm. So if you couldn't do this, why would that worry you?
Well, I mean, that's where we are now. We're not quite at the point where we feel comfortable financially to do a lot of things we'd like to do. And so if we didn't get there, it's going to be one of those, I wish I could have done that. And unfortunately, I didn't learn how to do it in time to be able to take advantage of it. So I'd be missing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Like pay for a wedding or to help a daughter make a down payment on their house, or be able to take my family on a interesting vacation together, because we haven't really been able to do it that way.
Okay. So it sounds to me like you're at a stage in your life that you're very highly receptive to being coachable to grow this thing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. And I'm also clear that although I'm highly motivated to be coachable, I know that if it was easy, I would have done it by now.
So when you say you're motivated and you're highly coachable, what would that look like over the course of a week? What kind of time frame do you think you want to invest in building this thing?
Oh, I've just recently cleared the decks and started. I've given up a few things that used to take a lot of time on a regular basis during the summer, especially. Because if this is really what it is, and I've seen people grow quickly, rapidly, and with a sustainable organization, I am ready to commit 40 to 60 hours a week.
Okay. So you're open to talking to people and reaching out to them?
I am. I am open to talking. That's not a hard thing for me to do.
Okay.
So I'm open to that. Sure.
What if someone told you that this wasn't going to work for you?
Well, first I'd want to know why, and if that would probably mean one of two things. One is that there is something in the way that's in me, something about me that's in the way, or that the coach didn't want to be my coach. So it's important for me to figure out what that means and how that's not true, because for as long as I've known Shackley, it's been about the possibilities are there if you are here to help other people.
What if you talked to someone and invited them and they told you that they didn't think it was for them? How would you handle that?
Well, I certainly say I appreciate your honesty and your initial conviction about that. So tell me what it is that brought you to the point where you said that. Is there something that you could help me understand so I could better understand what you're saying? If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I mean, it's okay by me. But certainly would appreciate your knowing what it is that you are the key issues that you see here.
Do you have any problem hosting an event in your home?
No. Not, I don't have a problem hosting an event. I do have a challenge inviting people. It's a challenge for me, a mental challenge for me, but that's probably what I need to be learn better,
Okay.
learn more.
Can you explain that a little bit, that mental challenge?
Well, some people might say, well, I'm looking for the script that makes me comfortable to approach people. But I know that the other thing is if I make a commitment to an in-home meeting or an in-person meeting, Bonnie Zeman and I have already scheduled something for later in June, in town in between us, and I have no idea who I'm going to invite just yet, but I know that I'm going to get some people there.
Okay. So you're open to making a list and identifying some people and inviting them to your home. How about on a Zoom?
Zoom's easy.
Okay,
Yep,
Zoom's easy.
on Zoom.
All right. How about one-on-one? Would you be open to doing a three-way with you, me, and them?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So how often would you be open to doing that during the week?
I believe the limitation would be your schedule and how effective I am at inviting people.
Okay. Have you looked at the compensation plan and seen what it's where you'd like to move to?
Yeah. So, excuse me. Yes, I believe that there's between now and the end of the year, my goal is to be a senior executive coordinator. That's with uh, with 30,000 group volume. We're running right now somewhere between 8 and 10. So I have to flesh out the last of the picture, but if when I learn how to effectively find and develop people, then I believe that repeating that process will be easy. And the senior executive coordinator will show a couple of things. One, it will show that we can develop more than one leg. And two, that we'll be compensated using the infinity plan. Excuse me. And that the next step is to duplicate what we've been doing. Now, Scott just talked about something.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. We're at 8 o'clock, and I just this is a conversation you see can go on because we're going to develop this interaction, this communication, and we're going to start identifying what he's going to do, where we're going to go, and how we're going to do it. sort of the strategy plan and that. And I'm sure there's other questions out there. I will hang if anybody else has questions.